Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? We're live, and this is River City 93. Shanair literally just joined in the middle of the intro show, so we are all surprised because he literally made it by the skin of his teeth, much like how Chella scored a goal that we would never know if it was on side or not. It's almost like our own immaculate reception. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Franco Harris Favor's goal. Like we'll never know if it touched the ground or not. That's what I'm choosing to believe. And from y'all haven't heard Cage voice yet. When you hear Cage voice, you will understand the epic reactions that happened last night. But yeah, y'all, let's start around. Matt, how are you enjoying it, man, with the surprise playoff berth?
What do you mean surprise?
Man, we're not gonna act like we're not surprised.
I knew we were winning last night.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey. In the stands, we knew we were winning.
Fair enough.
Who wants to back me up on that? Who wants to back me up in the stands? We knew we were winning.
Well,
all right, cool thing.
I'm gonna say Kate for last. Kate, I just gotta save your voice for last because I need people to hear this. Shanair, you joined in the last minute, pretty much like how Richmond got into the playoffs. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh goodness, over the moon. Absolute crazy scenes here at my house when the kickers decided to show up and put that last goal in. I lost my mind.
There you go. That's about right. And last but not least, it is Kate. Kate, I'm going to give you the floor so everyone can hear your voice and understand the passion that was given last night.
Yeah, I'd say it was a pretty good game. And I think that we had a lot of fun while we were there. I will say at the beginning, the crowd was looking like a Chattanooga crowd. So I was worried that maybe the game was going to go like a game at Chattanooga often goes. But it was a wonderful night in the end. It was a wonderful night. And I apologize for the state of my voice.
This is epic, man. This is epic. By the way, if you're listening live, we just want to say thank you. Hop in the show. Feel free to add in your comments. Also, like, share, subscribe, River City 93. So, welcome, guys. We are in the playoffs. Now, let me describe to you how it was for me last night, because thanks to Henry, I got drinks for free at Audi Field. I was watching the game while at the game. I spilled my beer over two DC United fans when I thought Griffin Garnett scored. My wife did get upset at me because I'm paying more attention to my phone, hyperventilating as it's 1-1. Then I see Chella score. I stand up, throw my phone, break my phone case. In the process, my phone falls down 5 feet of stairs. I get my phone back, and I see it's 2-1. That's how my night went last night. Mind you, at that point, I was on drink 6.
Wow. What a cool story. Imagine getting to go to a soccer game where you can drink a lot of beer and watch the Richmond Kickers play. It's almost like Kate and I did that
in stadium because of the media pass. So this is about one night a year I get to be an irresponsible adult like y'all.
I'm sorry. Do we want to go and roll the video back to July 3rd?
This is also true. But I just like to say that ever since I made the statement that I am the good luck charm, we have not lost a game. So, yeah. I take all this.
Yeah, so So you're never coming back to City Stadium then?
I didn't say that. I'll be there next weekend.
Wow, you want us to lose.
The season pass is getting used.
So what you're then saying is that your money is more important than team success, and you're actually coming back so we can lose a game when we could get to 7th place. Cool fan.
Yeah. I am selfish with my love.
Your love of all things Charlotte. You're coming back to City Stadium to watch Charlotte play. Who was DC playing last night, Elliot?
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not my fault for Charlotte. It just happened to work out that way. I didn't make the schedule, okay? I made these plans where we were fighting for the wooden spoon. It just so happened to be that, an 18-year-old goalkeeper, an 18-year-old center back decided, you know what? We can get this team into the playoffs. And they did. And Spokane has crapped the bed. Tormenta definitely crapped the bed with 3 red cards, which is an epic way.
Oh, my goodness. We'll talk about that.
What else? Lexington, I will continue to troll that guy until my dying days.
Use his proper name. Michael Fuchs at MCHLFCHS on
I truly
Twitter.
think it's a burner. I really hope it's a Lexington player's burner account, almost like the Deshaun Watson burner account. I will continue to troll him. So much so that I'm hoping that Lexington gets the wooden spoon and gets promoted to the championship and then gets obliterated into the moon.
Hasn't tweeted in a week, but
has
been tweeting about Lexington women at the very least.
And then Fuego all of a sudden decided to play good footy, but is that good enough? And Rich was in the playoff with 4 points and a game to spare. This is all weird.
Look, here's the bottom line here. This team's let us down. We said we wanted this last game to matter. And this last game is going to mean jack shit. Fail.
Bingo. Bingo's coming back.
Yeah, we got to bring Bingo back. It's also going to be like, a costume party and whatnot. Yeah. It's going to be epic. Next week is going to be a party. All right. That's enough time.
If you really think about it, though, that game doesn't absolutely mean nothing. Because there is a possibility of us getting 7th and having
Chenier, lean into the bit, bro.
Lean into the bit, Chenier.
But seriously, I just want to ask, do we want a Henny Derby in the playoffs?
We'll get there. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it. But first of all, let's start off with the game.
You can drive to Madison Stadium, Chenier. Doesn't mean the rest of us want to have to book a flight.
This is the whole reason why we move Chenier to Madison.
I want it. I don't think I want it. Actually, to the contrary, I'm thinking is that a good idea? Have that as a playoff game. I don't know.
Well, let's do the happy parts first, and then we'll talk about.
Let's get into this game. Let's get into this game because there is a lot to. Well, not a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about. Darren changes the lineup a little bit. He brings back Emiliano Terzaghi, drops Arthur Boshua. We saw pretty much everyone else. The other 10 players that we have normally seen.
Nope.
No, my fault. Zhao got dropped, right?
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I miss? Did he get hurt? Please don't tell me he got hurt.
Wow. It's almost like if you were there, you would know this answer.
No, I get it. What happened?
And it's bad. It's a bad one.
Oh no.
You might have had an extra leg assistance after the game.
Oh.
He won't be back this season. Oh. He might not be back next season.
Jesus.
Oh.
Okay. Did it look like an ACL or an Achilles?
I don't know. Do I look like a doctor?
Sources are saying.
They don't tell us.
Remember? that it's a serious one. And I don't know if they're gonna wait till after the season to really fully disclose the full extent of it. I assume they know. But I don't had surgery yet.
Wow.
Let's be real. They're never going to say what it is. We learned that last year with the Emmy thing.
Well, that definitely sucks. So you had the young kid, Josh Kirkland, who Is it cool if we still refer to him as Root Trialist 45? Can you still go with that?
If you want to.
All right, cool.
I mean, I think
he certainly is still playing like someone with something to prove.
He did. Matter of fact, let's start off with him because he definitely when I saw that he was starting, I was like, all right, Darren must be trying something different. Obviously, I wasn't privy to that Joao got hurt, but what about Kirkland? Like he provided. I'm not gonna. Would you say he provided a spark off the bench to start this game off with, or like he looked threatening at parts? From what I saw.
I mean, I think Kirkland has always given us that. Anytime he's come off the bench, he goes out there like a bat. He goes out there and he runs at defenses. He makes people feel uneasy because of his aggression. And I think every time he's come off the bench, he's created something. Even though he hasn't scored a goal, I don't think he has an assist. Does he?
I don't think so.
Why do I feel like he has an assist? But he has created situations that have scared defenses. Every time he comes off the bench, you know he's on the field. So I think he's earned a start in the way he has performed so far.
Yeah. What about John?
Yeah.
How do you? Yeah, my fault, Kate. Go ahead.
No worries. The main thing I think he's absolutely earned the start. I think what frustrates me is I'm always banging the drum about chemistry. So it frustrated me it felt like for most of the first half where he has the energy, he has the ideas, he has the commitment, but it didn't seem like he had the chemistry with the midfield. Mm-hmm. And there were a few where different runs were being made and there just wasn't. So I think that frustrated me a little bit is we've seen the success with the 11 from the past few matches. Boshua came in obviously last week, but so there's been some slight tweaks, but I think that's what frustrated me most was Kirkland coming in, Terzaghi coming in, Chandler being moved out of the striker position. I felt that our chemistry struggled in the first half because all of a sudden players who'd sort of gotten to know his movements, obviously with Joao not being able to play meant that a change needed to be made, but I see why Darren loves to say that players like earn their starting 11 spot, but he sometimes doesn't seem to consider chemistry all in making those considerations and seems to like exclusively rely on this like earning your spot in training matrix, which is fine, but like it hasn't worked up until like 6 weeks ago. So I was a little frustrated in the first half because the energy was there, the commitment was there, but the chemistry wasn't there in a lot of ways. And the only goal came off a set piece. So which is good, but is a different scenario.
Yeah, he's fine for what he is, but right now he's just an energy guy. Like he'll run all day, he'll run hard, and there's something to be said for that. But I think that fits a lot better, second half, against a tired defense where somebody going out there like a loose cannon can be able to kind of prey on maybe some more fatigued players. Like he wasn't bad, but I don't think he's anything extra special out on the wing. I mean, we're not really full of choices out there at the moment. It's either do we play a center forward, a center midfielder, or like Pineda, who seems to get hurt if he plays more than 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had a good start out there. Congrats on Root Trialist 45 for getting that contract and making an impact for where that happened to be. The other person that we saw in the change lineup was the king himself, El Rey. Emiliano Terzaghi returned to the lineup. I mean, we talked about it last week about like what has Darren been doing with Neil and Emmy coming off the bench late in games. And it looked like in this game where whatever is going to happen against Chattanooga because it's Chattanooga. So you need to have an attacking output out there. Do you think Darren leaned into that with putting Emmy out there at the start as striker? It seemed like you put him out there to kind of control possession of the way, but also have a threat inside the box, almost like that Fox in the box, where we see him get closer to a goal where he had a decent shot that I think Bush made a save on the near post in the first half.
Second half.
Second half? Okay, my fault. Second half.
No, you're right. It was first half, late first half.
Yeah, first half. It was all right. I know what it's obvious he was on for goals. I think what frustrated both Matt and I when we saw it is that meant Chandler had to go deeper. And Chandler is not our most technical player, and I almost would have wanted them reversed. Emmy's feet in the midfield, and then there's big head in the box, because we've had those crosses come in, and that's where and Emmy is. There were a couple low crosses that people said, "Oh, maybe that was for Emmy's head," but we sort of. I was a little concerned, and I wonder if that was a little bit with the chemistry. Is we didn't have a player like Vinyals in the midfield. We didn't have a player like Joao in the midfield with Chandler, who again has a great skill set when it's maximized, but sometimes his weaknesses are highlighted when he's put in a position where he needs to be on the ball more, do a little bit more creative or a little bit more playmaking. So I think that was my main gripe with the selection, not because I couldn't see why Dan did it, but because it meant Chandler had to go to the midfield, which I don't want to see Chandler in the midfield. Sorry. I don't think that is his I don't think his strengths are maximized there, and I think his weaknesses are highlighted in a more attacking midfield role.
I mean, I didn't necessarily mind that part. I think that the deficit of Chandler going in the midfield is that a midfield of Chandler, Zaka, and Dak, maybe not the most creative trio you'll ever come across, in there. But I mean, it's not hard to watch the game and see how much Emmy brings up front, even if he's not scoring goals. Being able to, he's not the most vertically gifted, person, but he's able to, get in front of defenders so often around midfield, get the ball and draw the foul, relieve the pressure. That way he's able to, be able to, dip into that, kind of, deep lying forward spot to, collect and, be able to spray it back out, to a midfielder or a winger, whoever. I feel like the attack moves better with him up front. I think the bigger question is, and we'll talk about this a little bit, in the second half discussion, inevitably. But is Neil succeeding because he's coming off the bench, or is it happenstance? And would he have been the better fill-in for the Joel spot?
But yeah, we'll save that question. That is a good discussion topic there. So I mean, let's finish out the first half. I mean, first goal happens. Chattanooga, Steven Lukic. As much as I love Dak, he caught Dak on skates. Like it was a nasty cut back inside, and I feel bad for Dak, but Dak got cut up on that one. And honestly, I don't know how quickly that ball got striked, and to see the reaction of even Sneddon, I don't think there's any way or any chance anyone got close to saving it. And I don't think Stevie can probably produce that given 9 more times to try to hit it the way he did. It just seemed like perfect place, perfect strike. Matt, kind of like using your thing that you said, like sometimes you just get beat by a good ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even put that much on Dak. Like he was tracing him with a quick cutback, and not just the cutback, it's the quick release on the cutback.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the only way if you're Dak, you're stocking that is if you're trailing too far behind in the first place, in which case he's never going to cut back as it is. Like, I don't know. Happens. Unfortunately, really good shot.
Yeah, it just looked bad. I just saw the cut on it and whatnot. But yeah, that's all about that. The real important goal that happened in the first half was so at first I thought Griffin Garnett scored it, and this is where I spilled my beer on the 2 DC United fans. Because I thought Griffin Garnett scored this header, only to later find out that, and Kate, I do not understand. I'm going to actually start asking you for lottery numbers now at this point. I don't understand how you predicted Chandler O'Dwyer was going to be our top goal scorer this year. But he has, and he's done it again with a patented goal.
Yeah. He scored a couple goals at the end of last season. What can I say? Nobody else was doing it.
And the funny thing about it, I don't know if you guys saw the video or not, the photo or not. I think it came from Suzanne or Jess, one of the two. But there's a photo of where Chandler is striking the ball into the net, but you see Emmy directly behind him and Emmy's foot on the back of Dwyer's calf. And it almost looked like Emmy is trying to take out O'Dwyer to score the goal. Like he's trying to kick through O'Dwyer to kick the ball in. It is like that is a transfer of power and energy. Emmy giving O'Dwyer his powers. Now we understand and found out how O'Dwyer is scoring all these goals.
Look, yeah. He this is going to potentially sound mean. It's not intended to sound mean. I mean, he already somewhat looks like, kind of like, the since we got Josh Kirkland on the team, we'll use the Costco, version of Harry Kane. Now he's scoring all these little, it's kind of cheapies that Kane has made a living on his entire career. They both talk funny too.
Yeah. Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong in this. I have to go back and look. But O'Dwyer has not scored a goal outside of the 6-yard box, has he yet? Like he doesn't have any long range goals. And I think every goal might be like a one-touch goal. Like I don't think there's multiple touches of him scoring.
Well, the Madison goal is definitely farther than 6 yards out header.
Okay, that's true.
I think the second Fuego goal early in the season was almost certainly outside the 6. I mean, it's not, they're all inside the 18.
Yeah, they're all inside. Okay, all inside the 18, and it might be one touch.
So
I'm just saying, like that is
He's a box in the box.
that is phenomenal.
And to be honest with you, that is actually more difficult than long range shooting, contrary to what people may believe. To be a professional soccer player, you got to be able to shoot, even center back. To be a professional soccer player, so shooting is not an issue. It's putting yourself in the right position, getting yourself in those spots where a defender can't mark you and you can get a shot on goal, being connected with your wingers, with the people crossing the ball, with your midfielders, so that they know exactly where you're going to be. That's where his goals come from. His goals come from his awareness. They come from just his knack for finding the space. It's the same things that we used to talk about with regards to Terzaghi. It's just that Terzaghi, on top of that, has the foot skills, has the ability to control the ball and do certain things with the ball that I have not seen O'Dwyer do. But that ability to find those spaces, to find those opportunities, it's not luck. It's not luck. Maybe once in a blue moon it's luck, but not that often.
Yeah, it's just a weird phenomenon that, like, he doesn't have one where he's like cut doing it. It was like all for such, which is great. Like, I'm not mad about it. Even though we're all talking about this first half and whatnot, there is a possibility where we are here not celebrating a win because Robert Munza, thankfully so, forgot his shooting boots because he had an own goal twice in this game. It almost ruined the party. Luckily enough, James Stanton, our 18-year-old goalkeeper, who I don't think he drives. I'm not sure. I had to check. But he made some good saves. How impressed have you been with Stanton in this run of games since really his surprise debut in the practice game against Spokane in the last cup match?
Wow. Sneddon he is mature beyond his years for a goalkeeper. Some of the things that you see him doing, I would expect that from veterans. There was one opportunity where there was a breakaway and he came almost at the edge of his box to snuff it out. And you usually don't see a goalkeeper of that age having the confidence to just run out to that ball and take on an attacker or 1v1 and basically play chicken with an attacker on the ball. He has been phenomenal. He has been phenomenal. And for an 18-year-old to be starting his stuff the way he is, that's definitely something to be commended.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Any thoughts on Snedden, the 18-year-old? That's the next one in line for goalkeeper FC.
In the second half, I don't remember the specific play, but he created an opportunity for Chattanooga. He misplayed the ball out. And it all happened so fast. The ball ended up at the attack in the 18-yard box.
Oh, yeah.
Snap shot. And he pushed that ball over the bar. I mean, the shot was so fast. It was so close. And it was from a mistake he made. And he set his feet, got back in position, all in this under 10 seconds. And that to me stood out. I was really impressed. All the other saves, you know, to a certain extent, you're expecting your goalkeeper to make saves to be brave, but to mentally bounce back so quickly from making a mistake and pull out a top drawer save to make up for it. And they got the corner out as well, led to a corner, and they defended the corner, got the ball out. So nothing gave it, but I was really, really impressed with his mentality in that moment. And I think, I don't know if he hadn't played as many games that he had, if he doesn't have as much experience, if that moment goes differently. And so, yeah, I was just really, really impressed with how quickly his mindset changed and how quickly he pulled that save out.
Yeah, I think that's the good part about him, is that he doesn't seem to get, intimidated, frazzled, because he's not a big dude, right? You see him in the mob of people at corner kicks, and he disappears in there pretty easily, but he's not afraid to go go out for a punch, throw his body at it. Yeah, he got away with one, last night, because that clearance went straight to Rapapa Mensah, and that not great, but yeah, he made the big save. Right then, I need him to start catching balls cleaner, especially shots, because once or twice a game he'll leave a rebound out there, and it hasn't burned us yet, but I am terrified that it's going to burn us at some point, and that's something that can be improved. Like that's something that you can actually practice and actively work on. So yeah, certainly more good than bad, but I think there's a couple very clear points that Evan can work with him on to be able to continue to level him up. But also Rapapa Mensah, possibly our MVP on the night, because he was definitely preying on our young guys out there, because he didn't make Griff look great on that one right after we went down 1-0, but thankfully he just decided to shoot it wide.
Yeah, no, he did not. Yeah, it was a tough night. Individual mistakes there and whatnot, but I don't know what it is. Like this team, if this game would have took place maybe in May or in June, Richmond's looking at
lose it 4-0 probably.
Oh yeah, like matter of fact, we don't even gotta go that far back. Go back to the last Chattanooga game where we gave up a goal in the first minute. Like it could have been like that. It could have been the snowball effect, but this team kind of rode past it, kind of rode the wave, kept it in 1-1. Darren made a couple of subs. And Matt, I think this is where we can throw that question out about Neil Vignoles. I'm leaning more towards, I think Neil is effective like coming off the bench right now in this role. I don't think you get the same level of defensive priority with starting Neil. Like it's either Emmy or Neil right now, where they seem to be like with the way of the defensive setup of the team, because you need someone on the wings who can attack and kind of get forward. And with Neil out there, the midfield would have been a little bit more congested. But I think Neil is I mean, I think now this is probably like the patented Neil pass because we've seen this go so many times for him, where he kind of like gets it on the wing, he kind of cuts back a little bit, looks for space, it just kind of drifts off, and then just chips a ball or just cuts the ball in behind the center backs to get a kicker onto it for a goal and whatnot. But what do you guys think?
I think you're right. When a game is starting, no matter how much warm up you have, no matter how much training you do before the start of the game and warm ups, the first few minutes of the game is all 22 players getting acclimated to this game, acclimated to the opponent, acclimated to every person you're playing against. I think in that scenario, um, we're looking at a player who's getting acclimated, and everyone's getting acclimated to him at the same time. But when you bring him off the bench, when the entire other team has gotten acclimated to the starting 11, and you bring him off the bench, that changes things. And with him being on the bench, of course, he's obviously watching. Of course, he's obviously taking part in observing how the game is going, how the game is being played. So he's rearing to go when he comes off the bench, and the other team now has to adjust to him. And he is so dangerous of a player that it's not going to be easy for them to keep tabs on him, keep him under wraps the way they would be able to if everyone is getting acclimated to the game at the same time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nah.
Yeah, my fault, man.
You gotta get your best players on the field, right? Like I'd rather take let's even be generous and say you can't go full 90 right now. Maybe that's always a possibility. That's what it could be. Only do 75. I'd rather get first 75. My best player out there, and then you can grind out at the end because the last two games we dug a deficit, had to fight out. Like even the best players sometimes don't get the job done, right? And I'd rather roll the dice, with more of my best players out there than, purposely hamstring my team. Because, I think Shaneer, your argument, like, why wouldn't like a Miami sit Messi so he can then come in the second half, fresh, disorganize everybody. Like you could just extrapolate that to any other star player. Obviously Messi's an absolute freak, so
yeah, there's no preparing for
Messi. Like maybe your Green Bowl. Oh, sit McKinnon and bring him in the second half. They'll have to adjust. Like no, that guy's leading the league in goals. You run him 90, right? And especially now that
of course,
especially now that we don't have Joao there.
Yeah,
that midfield tough.
Yeah.
I think you just get more of
game to start him, but I think in the past that's what it has been because you got to think about it. Joao, Zaka, and Dak have formed a chemistry with those three in the middle. Yes, Neil may be better than Joao in terms of ball control, in terms of creation, but does he match with Dak and Zaka as much as Joao does? So if that chemistry works better than having Neil out there, Neil is more dangerous coming off the bench with a team that has acclimated to Joao, Zaka, and Dak for 75 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like I can see both sides of it because Matt, I mean, your point is right. Like, start off strong, and if it works, land your best hit when you can when you're fresh. And Chenier, like your point is good as well. Like, save your cards. It's almost like you're playing poker. Like, do you go all out with your best suit first, or do you hold them? I don't know. Like, that's why I'm not a manager. I'm glad I don't got to figure out this dilemma now. That Gary now got his head with Joao's injury. I mean, whatnot. So Ooh, boy, I did not know that.
I mean, no, I think now at this point it would make more sense to play Neil
Yeah.
to start Neil. It would make more sense. With Joao not in the picture, that disrupts that midfield three chemistry anyway. You may as well disrupt that midfield three chemistry with a very good quality player.
Yeah.
So in this, now with Joao out of the picture, this equation, put Neil in, start Neil. He can create stuff. He's dangerous.
Are
But
you cool with moving Emmy back to the bench and letting Chandler start at striker and then 60th or 55th minute bringing Emmy on?
yeah, I mean Chandler's hot.
Okay.
Keep him on.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
It'd be nice
so
if this was like. It'd be nice if we were playing like indoor soccer and you just sub in on the fly and you bring Chandler in for set pieces and
that would be perfect.
maybe not the rest.
Like it would be like that would be like a true like substitution package. Like Darren on the sidelines, like, hey, hold on. Big guys, go, you, Arthur, go. That would just be that package just for that. That would be hilarious. Yeah, man. I mean,
Scorpion kick every other game from Chandler.
Right. But talking about Neil Vignos, man, he attributed assist to the second goal to Cello, which I call, I mean, we got to find a good name for this. It has to be an immaculate goal or something because, one, watching this goal live, I paused for like 5 seconds, like there was VAR. Like I was waiting for like VAR to pop up. That's how burned I've been. Because I was expecting it for it to be like, oh, the goal's ruled offside. He's offside by a mile. And luckily, in lower league soccer here in America, we don't have that kind of money, so I don't have to ever worry about finding out if this goal stood or
not. The reason why I feel that it stood though is because not a single Chattanooga player put their hand up to claim offside.
Yeah,
no one did. So they all knew he wasn't offside. So there was no argument. Because that's the first thing I looked at. When he put it in, I was like, he's way behind the back line. But when that ball went in, he gets up and runs to go celebrate. Goalkeeper, none of the center backs put their hand up and look at the AR at all. So I'm like, okay, that's a goal because they don't even think he was offside. Because if there's a hint of a chance that you could be a yard onside. That center back will put his hand up. Every time.
You always ask for it.
He was offside.
Yeah. They always ask for it.
Exactly. But they didn't even ask for it. That's the thing that let me know, oh goodness, no, he was on, and they feel like idiots for letting him run in behind them like that because that's the look that they all had.
Yeah, it looked bad.
Part of me wonders if there's somebody like off camera that was just lagging and blatantly kept him up on side because otherwise I just don't. I'll take it. Don't get how it happened.
Yeah,
with our one shaky, with our one camera that was also going back and watching it afterwards, a very shaky camera.
Yeah,
we'll never know, but
no,
it's probably the ref was 100% right. Very confident in that.
Yeah, and I mean the celebration can match it as well. What was you about to say, Kate?
The ball traveled a very long way, so he did have plenty of time to start his run.
You did.
Yeah. I'm also just going to 100% give Neil the credit for definitely knowing he was there and picking him out the whole time.
Oh, there was an element of like hope and prayer behind that ball.
No, it's on the whole way.
There was an element of hope.
No,
it's that Spanish Canadian connection you always hear a lot about.
No, but I actually think he saw Stella make a run because you could see when he takes that touch kind of away from the defender, heading towards our own goal, and cuts inside. His head goes up. He scans, and then the defender doesn't step to him quickly enough, and he just lets that fly. So he looked, and he put that ball where he wanted it to go. He didn't just hit and hope. Because if it was one of those like almost like Emmy's goal, I think it was either last week or a couple of weeks ago where he kind of hits it on the half turn. He's actually able to pull himself away from the defender and turn his body in a position where he can see in front of the goal. And he puts that ball literally right in behind. And the more I looked at it, it looks like Sella comes from a wide position, which makes me feel that no one was marking him. Like he went way out wide and like curled back in, which is why all of the Chattanooga players felt like
we all agree, 100% intentional, 100% meant to do it.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's what
But I know as soon as he kicked it, he was like, I hope Chella's outside. There's a hope.
But that's how you would both of them.
I don't know because again the camera gets Chella on frame late. So who knows
that's fine. That's fine. But anytime anyone has ever hit that pass in that kind of circumstance, you know there is a hope and a prayer behind it.
Except for Native Lodials.
No, of course not. I mean, here's the thing. With Neil, I think the hope and the prayer is that Sella, not being a striker, hits it right.
Yeah.
I think that's the only hope and prayer that he's got going on.
We're missing the bigger, more important piece out of all of this. This is an educational moment. Because somebody on one of these four squares here, before the goal happened, decided to all but call out, our hero of the day.
I didn't know his name.
By the way, Kate had an epic tweet that I wish I could pull it up. So Kate literally 10 minutes before he scored was like, I am not pronouncing his name.
I said, when our center back from Kosovo scores a goal, then I will learn his name. And then 10 minutes later,
there you go.
He scored.
Clyde Chella, if that is how it is pronounced, I can spell it forwards and backwards. Sir, I'm familiar with your name and your game.
Also, I believe there are also declarations made earlier around signing time that a jersey is going to be bought.
Oh yeah, it's happening. Yeah, 100%. The jersey's already bought. I just gotta get his name put on the back of it. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Yeah.
This is why we signed him. Yeah.
It turned out far better than I think any of us expected.
100%. 100%. Homeboy don't even got to score. We kept the clean shit with him in our first game with him starting. Sir, what you want?
That's true.
We can never sign another striker. Like, why bother signing strikers when every other player we sign scores the goals?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. More D-mids from England.
Right. So, I mean, that puts a nice bow on that game and whatnot. Let me ask y'all this, because this is just me thinking. If you had to ask Neil, what's the best assist he had this season? Do you think it's this one, the one he had against South Georgia Tormenta, the Simon Fitch goal, or the Henny Darby one?
Madison.
Gotta be the Henny Darby.
Has to be Henny Darby, but he's a lucky man.
The madness that ensued after that goal.
What he would actually say is, they're all really good. I'm glad we were able to help the team get results off of each one of them.
He's very well media trained.
Yeah, I don't need media training. I need Neil. Which one is the best one?
Off the record.
Yeah, that's what we need to know. I need to know that. Like, which one is the one?
And two of them were players who'd never scored before.
Yeah, right. To me personally, like, I love the Henny Darby one because he got a special place in my heart for that. But
oh yeah, me too.
I think it's the Tormenta one.
Yeah.
I'll lean Tormenta.
I mean, none of them are that different, if we're really being honest.
No, they're not. Like, they're all the same. It's just like
the same place practically.
They are. That's what I'm saying. It's becoming the Neil Vignol's pass. Like, it's almost like Arjen Robin. Like anytime he cuts in on his left foot, like it's going to be a banger. Anytime Neil cuts in on his right foot, it's going to be an assist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we say all that, that's the fun part of it. But pretty much the Kickers win this game. So now we are all in a position in which we are watching these other games for the rest of the night. And
Before you get there,
can
I say one more thing?
Oh, yeah.
Life would have been so much easier if they've got that third goal. Like I thought they were going to about 5 different times.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I definitely was sitting there counting like, when is it coming? Like
Pineda.
if he scored.
Pineda shot.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because Chattanooga was understandably just selling out because they could not lose that game. And I don't know, all worked out well in the end.
Their goalkeeper moved
But
to the half
actually,
field
to be
line.
honest with you,
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think that's a side of the Kickers that we haven't seen before. How many times have we been in a situation like that where we go up 2-1 with maybe like 10, 15 minutes left and we park the bus? Almost every time we park the bus. This time, it's like Dan said, give them another one. And they just kept going. It was, you would have thought the Kickers was the team that was down 2-1 after we scored that second goal. I mean, it was only until deep in stoppage time that Chattanooga really started really pushing forward, and we really said, all right, let's park it now.
Well, it's also at that point, Chattanooga kind of just was like, all right, 1, 2, 3, Cancun. We're good. Like it kind of just was like, all right, it is what it is.
Yeah, there are multiple.
They did do we're leaving the field after the game. We're all sitting on the bench with our head in our hands gimmick for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, they were making sure that reservations to Cancun were all booked and ready.
Look, wouldn't you be sad if you had to go back to Chattanooga?
Yeah, this is also true.
Yeah.
Go back to East Ridge.
Mike pulled out his favorite chants about the people of Chattanooga and what they like to pull out of their trash cans.
That's fair.
The banter.
Real quick, do you guys feel like, just want to ask for us, is this a slight how can I put this? Does this make I know it doesn't make it for 2021, but does it feel good to get this over Chattanooga, knowing the history that we have against them? Like we kind of like got over the boogeyman a little bit.
At home,
a little bit, yeah.
Hey, 2020 and 22. 2021 was the got in off the field. When I think it was like Toronto and New England drew or something before we played Tucson.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but no, October home games in Chattanooga had not been a happy existence previously. So being able to get that one sorted out and sorted away, and yes, much preferable than the last couple times this fixture has come up. Be nice if we do the other half of it finally next year and win down there, but that's an extra problem.
That would be the fun part, is to finally get that win there over there against them. That would be great. So we say all that to say that at the end of this game, Richmond is in the playoffs, but it looks like at that point we're going to have to wait to next weekend to play against Charlotte to see if we're also in. Because Tormenta's up 2 goals, down a man to Union Omaha, and then I think in probably the most epic meltdown in USL League One history.
Oh.
Yo, I don't think I've ever seen a meltdown like this. It is like
Tormenta's done worse themselves.
It almost was like Union Omaha was like, oh. The funny thing is, if you go back and track it, they kind of turned it up when they saw that Madison drew. Like when Madison drew, they were like, "Oh, we can clinch tonight. Let's do it."
No, once Madison drew, they already had it clinched.
Oh, they did? I thought it was at the same time. My bad. That would have been much better storytelling. But regardless of the fact, they scored 2 goals. Tormenta goes down another man, and then when they give him the 3rd goal and then go down, Dingler gets the goal, the red card right after that. I remember correctly.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Also, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? Tormenta is a trash team. I've been telling you this for months, and they did the same thing last week against us.
I know. It's just
basically
you talk about a team really just punting it on the end of the season. That is epic. That is epic. Yeah.
Yeah, Tormenta. This is their MO every year. They start off pretty good. They have a few hot games where they stick it to teams that they shouldn't be beating, and then halfway through the season, the wheels fall off.
And I'd just like to bring up the point. They haven't won a game since July 13th.
Yeah.
They are doing an us from last year.
Right. So why are you surprised they choked it?
I'm not surprised that they choked it. I'm just more surprised at the fact.
They choked it spectacularly.
I'm just more surprised at the fact that like how they choked it, like how they punted it. Like that's an epic punt on the season. That is like if God forbid, if you're in charge of match fixing in USL League One, I am looking into the whole Tormenta locker room after this to see who has a FanDuel account. Because it's not just straight red cards. Like it's like double booking yellow cards. So guys knew, like, all right, I can't get another yellow. And then proceeded to get another yellow. Like,
I mean, they knew they were done at that point.
Like, guys are like,
all right, not the first one, the last 2, they knew they were done.
Oh yeah, like they already were like, hey,
the first one.
Let's go ahead and go to Cancun.
The first one, Steedman's red card, I think is more. There goes your second yellow. Unlucky, whatever. Vivas and Dangler, I'm like, dude, you didn't have to even tackle. You didn't even have to go in. You could have just tried to harry the player and whatever. Both of them. I was like, why did you even go in? Why?
Match fixing.
No. Incompetence.
Uzos.
Look.
Both. Like it's just bad.
Why attribute evil when stupidity will do? I think I'm not the group mad on this one. Incompetence.
Right.
Look, if you want to know the real, culprit here, it's Tormenta themselves, and the reason is, I had this revelation last week as I was, reviewing the, old highlights to be able to, double check the timing on, the Vinyals to Ani goal versus the Vinyals to Fix goal and how similar they were. That dirt pile, man, kind of fallen off. When the dirt pile was at its apex, they were regrettably good. Dirt pile's almost gone. That team's back to being trash.
Yeah, they moved the dirt pile. It's like closer to the right now. It's that good. Bad boot juju. I mean, it's funny juju.
Yeah, so they did it themselves.
It's hilarious. Like it is hilarious. And I'm pretty sure the vibes at City Stadium when they found out that they clinched the playoffs were epic. Like this, so now we can talk about the real question at hand. So this is the way how it can go. Because Greenville punted on their season, losing to Fuego, who more. God, I just want to see Lexington get the wooden spoon. But let's focus on us. Let's focus on us. Okay. So the way how this can go, we can either have a rematch of the Henry Derby against Madison. We could play NoCo in what could be their last game ever as a organized team because their owners are Ponzi scheme frauds. Or we could go to Union Omaha for a thank you party and might pull off a 1-8 upset. What game would you guys prefer?
Well, so Omaha's the far most likely outcome.
Yes.
Out of all this.
I would put that one at like 90 or 85%.
Yeah, so what would have to happen is if we don't win, or if if we don't win, or if Spokane also wins.
Yeah.
We're headed to Omaha. Spokane's been like Tormenta level trash recently, so
Yeah, they've been garbage.
that could carry on. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. Omaha went 2-0 down to Tormenta in the first half, and it was Tormenta's own incompetence that was the ultimate screwdriver there. So, that half, as you just said, how crap Tormenta been. They went 2-0 up on the league leaders. Obviously, Omaha will have more to play for
Last time we played them.
in the playoffs, but that's not a great sign. Obviously, there's more factors there, but if Tormenta can go 2-0 in one half up on Omaha, why can't we? Without a Boza giving up a second yellow in the first half.
who gives up 2 first-half goals to Tormenta?
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
I mean,
I to be honest with you, I think that would be the one I'd want because, like Kate just said, they just conceded 2 goals to Tormenta, and it's only when Tormenta shot themselves in the foot that they lost that 2-0 lead. And secondly, last time we played Union Omaha, we tied them.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, all of them are on pretty good form. Like, I think the last time one of them lost to a team that wasn't one of the other ones of them, it was Omaha actually losing to Spokane, which, lol. But I don't know if I want to go play on a baseball field. Like, there's that element of it.
That is true. That is
I feel like NoCo is the worst matchup, for us.
Yeah. I feel like, I agree with that. I think NoCo is the worst matchup.
But Madison, that's just added stress.
Well, this is the thing. Like, this is the how I'm choosing to look at it. Like, Richmond walks into the playoffs with probably the least amount of stress on them. Like, there's no expectations. They have met the expectation, which is get into the playoffs, which truly wasn't even the expectation midway through the season. So to like go on a road against Union or Madison, you gotta assume most of the stress is going to be on one of those 2 teams. And
I would say external stress, yes, but fan stress,
right?
Forward Madison is more stressed.
Oh yeah, Madison will be more stressed. Madison will be more stressed. Like, imagine if it's like 75th minute, 0-0, Richmond Madison. You don't mean to tell me Breezefield is going to feel like on a knife's edge? Like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the other factor.
It's giving me hives.
So only one of those 3 teams haven't lost to this year.
Yeah.
Right? So there's that flip side of it.
Right.
There's if you're traveling, like, where do you want to, where do you like literally want to go, visit? Do you want to, middle of nowhere, Colorado, but basically really Denver or Fort Collins? Do you want to go to Madison? Try to go to Nebraska?
I've been to Nebraska.
I've been there too.
Omaha can turn into Nebraska football. And we saw how Nebraska football turned out this weekend. 56-7 at Indiana.
Yeah, let's talk college football instead. That's more fun.
Yeah, we're just going to turn this into a college football podcast from here on out. talk about the Corn Huskers.
Yeah.
But no, man, like,
hey, if we're talking Big Ten football, I'm in this week.
Oh yeah, man! Look, shout out to Maryland beating USC. By the way, that celebration you guys did at the end of the game, epic. Have you guys seen this yet? If you guys haven't seen it, go to the highlights of Maryland versus USC. And so Maryland does the QB kneel, right? So the Maryland quarterback turns around and tosses the football to the wide receiver. And the wide receiver like jumps in the air. It does like an alley-oop dunk through the QB's arms. It is the most epic celebration I've seen off a QB kneel.
Yeah. I thought we were going to lose because we were down 14 points in the fourth quarter. So I stopped checking. And then I see one of my buddies, text me, about how Billy Evers is a magician. I'm like, wait, did we win somehow? Go, check. This is like right at stoppage time. So like I started losing my, shit at that moment. And a couple people are looking at me like, oh, there's still like 5 minutes left. What are you doing? I'm like, don't worry about it.
It's unrelated.
There you go. Is he? I mean, yeah, man. Back to this. I don't know.
I'm telling you, I think Union is our best. Is our best matchup.
I feel like it's going to be Union. I feel like we're going to have to go to Omaha.
I mean, odds are, yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, let me ask you this. Like, do you think Darren is going to rotate at all? Like, not use it as a bye week and rest everyone. But, like, kind of like, all right, anyone that has any kind of niggling injury, like, upsetting you this week, to be prepared for Union?
Maybe, or I have no idea if anybody's, like, yellow card danger, but I don't think you break momentum. Like, this team's on a roll.
I don't think you
try to keep the good times going.
First of all. Secondly, what is Charlotte really playing for?
I mean, fifth place. Because if they win and Knoxville loses, I think they can go to fifth.
That's it. Has lost 5 of the last 5, and that's who Knoxville are playing. I'm pretty sure Charlotte are like, yeah, Spokane's probably going to lose, so we're in the playoff. Yay.
I mean, honestly, that's what it felt like from Charlotte because, like,
so I could see this being kind of a dud of a game of sorts.
Yeah, it also depends on how much Charlotte wants to avoid NOCO as well, which I don't know.
Well, that's a little bit out of their hands.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlotte are not anywhere near going through the NOCO. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you mean later on in later rounds?
Well, no. I mean, like, if say the table stays the way how it is, like, we will go to Union, Spokane will go to Fort Madison, Charlotte will go to NOCO, One Knox will go to Greenville. But if Charlotte wins, and One Knox loses, they'll flip-flop.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of stuff that can move around because NOCO Madison play this week.
Yeah.
So if NOCO can beat them, they get the 2 seed instead.
Which in that place, I'm like, yo, like, I granted our game is before theirs, but like that would be the biggest heartbreak for us to get
get 7th and go to NOCO instead.
Yeah, I would just be like, hey, just go play, just go have fun,
It would be the easiest trip, direct flights to Denver.
Yeah, right. Like, just go do that.
I mean, if you want to, Madison's drivable. I've done it many times. It's a long drive. It's like 13, 14 hours, but you can do it.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can do anything. I don't want to.
Exactly. Just like this team has proven over the last 2 months.
Also, my wife is calling me ecstatic because the Steelers are beating the Jets. So It's all fun. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm stuck on this. Well, I know next week in the stadium it's going to be a great time. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to be back with y'all. And I know Matt has been giving me.
So you want to play Omaha?
If I walk in there and they don't win, I know I'm going to hear it from everyone. So I'm just preparing myself for it. But if they win in my presence,
yeah, your whole bid is ruined.
That also proves that I'm not the good luck charm either. If they win in my presence, so I don't know.
Yeah. I can foresee a draw. I can foresee an eventless draw in that game. To be honest with you, because Charlotte are thinking, wouldn't it be nice? But they're not. They're not going to break the bank to get a win. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't see either team going all out for it. I think Richmond will push if it's fair. If it's not, then I think they're cool. Like, hey,
look, here's another reason to push for it. You get to seventh, and it's like a 1%er, but there's the 1%er there hosting the final.
That is true.
I'm not going
to hope that.
Especially if us getting seventh could put us against Noco.
I mean,
like they go hard.
I have no faith in Spokane doing their part in that case.
Charlotte, and then it's like Noco, huh?
Yeah. Also, let me throw this out there because I tweeted last night. Like Darren, I know he won't win Coach of the Year, right? But if you had to put a percentage of how many votes you think he will get, where do you put it at? Because I think he's a dark horse contender, just based on
the easiest question you've asked all night. Easiest question.
Yeah.
Rhymes with hero.
I think he'll get one. I'll put like 10% on it. It's dark horse. He won't win it. I know he won't win it. But I think someone will be convinced.
Why would he win?
Oh no! Maybe if there was a most improved category.
Yeah, I'll say he got done wrong not getting September Coach of the Month because literally what more could he have possibly done?
Yeah, that's the one. I agree with that.
They lost to goddamn Spokane that month just because they played more games.
Yeah.
So they got more points.
Which is silly. But it should have been. It should have been Darren. Yeah.
I don't want to Spokane are now.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I think the only postseason award the kickers will get, which is the one that probably means the most, is Griffin Garnett as Young Player of the Year. Or whatever they call it, the U20, U22 Player of the Year or something like that. I forget what they call that actually.
Yeah, I don't know what the cutoff is.
Yeah, but whatever it is, he's winning it. Which, by the way, also, Kate's not the only one who got a prediction right on this podcast. I did too. I totally backed into it and didn't expect Griffin Garnett to be the sole contributor to the minutes played of the youth players. But he's done it. And I'm very happy of this fact. Because I would have bet money that it would have been Landon Johnson. And I'm so glad that it's not.
Wow, hurtful towards Landon. Happy that he's on the bench.
Nothing wrong with Landon, but, you know, we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, to have a center back getting Player of the Year tells more towards your season than having a winger. Because a winger, did goals, but Garnett has been solid and has been a part of the responsibility for the so many clean sheets we had in the past few games.
Yeah.
So that to me, I mean, Garnett has again, like Ned is maturity beyond his years in terms of the way he's played, in terms of the way he's performed. Whenever he's made a mistake, he's bounced back from that mistake very quickly. It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah,
We can go through all those after the season's over.
we will, and it will be fun. Guys, we have extra podcasts to do. By the way, we have done 50 podcasts this year alone. This is the most podcasts we have done in a year.
How do we do 50? Oh, Ivy.
Yeah. We get all about that. Yeah, Ivy counts. So we have done a lot, and we have more of these to do, as we have at least one guaranteed playoff game. Hopefully, what, 1,
3?
2, 3? Is it 3? 3 more. Kate, get ready. Get ready.
Everybody, clear out those credit cards. Get ready to, get your freaking flyer miles up. Unfortunately, it looks like we're traveling the country.
Yeah.
At least we don't have to go to Fuego.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
Sacramento is out.
All these places that are actually legitimately drivable.
Yeah.
Doing. Pick up your game.
So it's gonna be fun, y'all. I can't wait to do it. So with that being said, y'all, we just want to say thank you for everyone for taking the time of your day for listening to our show, because without you, we couldn't do this. We wouldn't want to do this, and it has been an extreme roller coaster, and everything. Even so much so that my wife is now being weird outside the office, because her assignment of the kickers and whatnot. But we got more off-season footy. We got all these other things to look forward to. We can't wait to go through it with you. So with that being said, as always, we just want to say thank you for taking time of your day for listening to our show. Without you, we couldn't do this. Make sure to check us out on rivercity93.com. And next week's episode, it won't be the final episode because we got playoff footy, and we'll be having a good time, possibly talking about where we're going into playoffs. So that will be a whole discussion. We'll have fun. We will holler at you guys next week. Be easy. Be safe as always. And remember, it took 2 18-year-olds to get this team in the playoffs. Yep. I'll see you guys next week. Be easy. Be safe.